How's it going, guys? Silver Gilly here, back with another video, and today we are going to be playing Frostborn once more. And I'm going to be teaching you how to deal or what to do if you're a beginner and you want to participate in a tournament. But before that, don't forget to like, share, and smash that subscribe button so you could help out the channel. And let's begin. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna be carrying at least 4 spears. I know in this video I'm carrying only 3, but I actually kind of messed up on that part. And you want to be running the curer class. That way you don't really have to use too much food, and the amount of food that you want to bring isn't really that much, so that because most beginners don't really have that much food supply. Let's say about 10 roasted steaks should be good enough, or at least 20 berries, because you're going to be running around between 2 green zones the moment you clear them. So you don't want to do what I just did there, where I didn't really sneak up on the enemy. Instead, I just faced him head on. Since we're running on a budget build, I actually am using an armor. It's the lowest type, and you do not want to engage in a head-on confrontation, because that way enemies are just going to degrade your armor quicker, and also sneaking up on enemies does deal a critical damage, which makes it easier for them to kill, just as what I am doing right now. So to participate in a tournament, you have to kill at least 5 enemies within a specific zone. I do suggest green zones because that way it's actually easier for them to kill. And the moment you actually kill those 5, get out of the zone, and if you forgot something, go to your home, then get back when the tournament is almost ready. So I'm not really going to grab anything else since I've already completed what I needed. And I think the tournament is almost ready. It's almost 2 minutes. And I think there's... Okay, it's good. Now we start hunting. So there's a part in this video where I actually made a mistake, and that's in the second zone. I'm going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Okay. So just like what I said, sneak up on the enemy. That way you don't degrade your armor, you don't use up too much of your food. Also, the reason why we didn't bring too much food within this game is because the stuff you're gonna kill within the zone and the stuff you're gonna collect, that's where you're going to get your food from the berries, and as well as the animals that you're going to kill, such as wolves and deers. Although deers don't really add too much points, so I don't really suggest killing them. Don't try collecting other resources other than actually killing the enemies, because resources don't really garner that much points. They only about, I think, 1 trophy, so they're not really that worth it. But don't forget to grab the berries and collect the loot that you get from wolves, because it's really going to help you a lot during these 20 minutes. You might say that 20 minutes really isn't that much of a long time, but believe me, it kind of is. And there's a lot of things within that 20 minutes that could really go wrong. And you really have to be careful not to die, because the moment you die, since you're competing with 10 person, that could really impede your progress. And in this video, I actually died, and luckily I was still able to place in front, because I actually focused more on killing the enemies rather than farming resources and other stuff. Because if you want to place first, you have to have an objective. You don't have to have a very high grind. So this zone is almost finished. Just finishing off these dragger or whatever they're pronounced. I can't really pronounce them properly. As you see, I am actually placed in first, but I actually made a mistake in the next zone. We're just gonna collect some of these resources and we're going to move on to the next zone. Okay, we're I was actually struggling as to which I should carry with me. And okay, we should be ready to head out at this part. Okay, so this is the part where that I was mentioning that I actually made a freaking mistake, and I actually did regret it. So guys, if you are watching this and you are a new guy, the moment you see other players within a specific zone, or you when you are in a tournament, get the heck out of there. It does not matter whether it's a green zone, a red zone, or an orange zone. The point here is don't do what I did. I got greedy. I basically died in this specific zone. I don't know if these players were doing it intentionally, but the reason why you do not want uh, to go to zones where there are already players is because you're gonna have a lot of competition. Meaning, if you have competition, you're not going to be able to fully clear the entire zone on your own, meaning you would get less points. You would There's a high chance you would not place in first if you are a beginner, or even if you are a pro. And also, I take back what I said about it being not that much of a high grind, since the tournament is basically all about grinding. But hey, this guide is all about helping you guys. And this is the part where I died, and basically they looted me. So don't be greedy and don't try to be a hero. That's basically it. So I'm going to go back. I'm still placed in first. So that is the good thing of actually grinding for the entire zone instead of just adding in resources, because actually collecting resources does slow down the progress a bit. Also, if you are actually a lot more experienced within the game, it's a lot better if you move on to higher zones, because killing other enemies within higher zones do provide more points compared to those of the green zones, obviously. And they got ahead of me. The So lesson learned, don't be greedy. I learned it the hard way after dying. It's actually pretty sad. So I had to skip some parts because basically you already guys knew, sneak from the back, do some critical hits, clear the zone. If you do clear a green zone all on your own, you should be able to at least get 250 points, which is actually a lot if you are a beginner, since there wouldn't be really much of a competition. And it's also good to actually abuse the tournament when you are low leveled, since it does give you a slightly significant boost. I don't know if the rewards actually get better the higher your level is. So far, the rewards weren't really as good as you'd expect, even if you do place in first. But it's still worth it. It does still help you quite a bit. But I mean, the rewards are more of a, how do I say this? It's more of a it's an okay, but not really that good. So the moment you start having a higher level, I'm not really too sure if it's actually worth it grinding for the top spot, since the rewards aren't really that good. Okay, I want to test out what the bomb does. Should I test it or should I not? Anyway, uh, collecting some loot, some ham, some decent stuff. And we were actually able to last, even though our armor just broke down, and we'll run back to the place where we died. I don't know if it. The one thing also that I learned the hard way was that the moment you die at a place, it does not reset immediately. As you've seen, there's a pouch. So I immediately got out because If I stay too long, the second guy's gonna overtake me, and I'm gonna lose the top spot. It was an okay grind, I would say. Okay, let's just go to the forest. Let's just go back and grind for more stuff. Okay, okay. Although I did kind of rig. Okay, see, that is the horrible thing about dying. You lose progress, and the second guy is going to overstep at your rank. That is why it is always important to always not die. Should always remember that. And do not do what I just did, where instead of actually kiting or taking the attention of the other one, I charged in and actually got attacked by all three. It's important to remember when you will engage in a fight, because if you're not careful, you will get overwhelmed and you will die. Okay, gonna take out this wolf. Gonna collect this meat, or maybe not. See what I did? I actually tried to lure out these two guys first, because if I charged in, those two other guys will probably come charging at me. Two Draugrs are pretty much manageable, but anything that's 3 or 4, it's gonna be a bit hard, especially if you don't have armor. And usually this part's just me grinding. So if you want to skip to the end of whether I won or not, it's basically at around, I would say, oh wait, it's almost at the end. I actually forgot to look. So it's just about 34, 31, and I was able to place first, luckily. And you have it. I actually took the first place, and I was actually scared that I would actually lost. So hopefully this guide helps, and see you again in the next video.